Good morning. It is 7:04 a.m., the 29th of May, year 2024. Within the last 15 minutes, I took my garbage out. When I stepped out of my room by 7 in the morning, the whole place is engulfed in the stench of rotting dead bodies all over floor 2, all over in my bathroom, all over the staircase going down, and all over floor 1, all over that corridor area where I have reported for multiple years. It's coming up from the floors, coming from the basement. I don't know what they're doing here. I never went and physically investigated it. That's for the proper authorities, which it has been done. I have witnessed many things. I'm not going to sit here and get sidetracked with all and everything I've witnessed on a 14-minute video. I'm just going to say what I've witnessed this morning. All right, so when I first woke up about 6 a.m., it was around 6 a.m., it was right at sunrise, not sunrise, but dawn, you know what I mean, 6 a.m., look at the time and look at when the light strikes the sky. It's about 6 a.m. The sun wasn't really rising, it wasn't blaring out, over the city where you need sunglasses. It was about 6 a.m. There was light in the sky. I get up, I go to the bathroom. I smell the chop shop where they dismember and they stuff with the metal tubs and all that crap with the dissolvent, and you smell the chemical, you smell the corpses. I smelled that coming from my toilet area and from underneath the bathtub, but it was like low key. It wasn't. You smell it walking in and you immediately breathe through your mouth because nobody wants to smell dismembered human body parts and dissolvent. Nobody wants to smell that, especially when they're waking up trying to use the toilet. That's how I live. That's how I take baths. That's how I'm completely tormented here in the city. The city of DC knows they're doing this and just has no problem with that. They have no problem with any of that. And do not forget that I'm walking distance from Joe Biden's office. I'm walking distance. His little Secret Service could walk up here. They don't need their car. They do not need to drive. All right, point made. So I'm like, okay, well, not surprising. I mean, with everything that I witnessed in here, I am not surprised that this is still going in my bathroom, this really evil, really violent horror and gore that I witnessed here. I'm just not surprised. It was still going on. But my whole house at 6:30, 6 a.m. did not stink of rotting dead corpses, okay? Within 1 hour, presto, mass gravesite is here. That's what I describe it. That's how I'm describing it. It's got to be more than one. It's from floor 1 all the way up to floor 2. There's got to be more than one corpse. Now, I'm not the authority on this. That's why the proper authorities are physically investigating this, not me. It wouldn't be wise. It wouldn't be suggested. So I go back into my room and I start taking my garbage out at 7 a.m. The stench is all over floor 1. The stench is all over floor 2. It's coming out into the oxygen again at 7 a.m. You open the front door. All the stench of rotting, dead bodies is coming out. It's not quite billowing because we haven't got to this really intense, just like you're in some sort of Silence of the Lambs horror show. Silence of the Lambs is an American movie. Go ahead and Google that. And I mean this when I say this. I'm honestly testifying in description, trying to describe this to the public, what I go through in here. All right, so we're at 7 a.m. It's 15 minutes ago, maybe it's 6:45. The sun has fully risen. It's shining bright in the sky at this point. I take my garbage out. I'm on my way. All right. I don't see any townspeople enjoying their day. This is how they are. They're just fine with what's happening in this house. They're just fine. This is another day to them. I have witnessed this 1,000 times over. The job for their local law enforcement here, the job is to keep this place from being raided. The job for the local law enforcement in Washington, D.C. is to keep 1509 S Street Northwest to protect it from being searched, the property being seized and declared a federal homicide scene. It is the law enforcement's job to stop anything like that from happening. That is why they keep trying to arrest me for these videos. Point made yet? Okay, good. All right. So I take my garbage out. I don't see any townspeople enjoying their day. On my way back, well, down through the alley on my way back, my shit is like almost gone. All the Christmas trees are there. There's still $300 worth of Christmas trees. But on my way back, it's just strewn. Everything's just been picked through. Everything's pillaged. It's all gone. It was amazing how they took... There was items like brand new in the cellophane wrapping, brand new in cellophane wrapping. Google, I'll put it up, like expensive electronic equipment. I knew what I was leaving out there. I left hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm telling you, hand to judge, worth of valuable items. The city pillaged and picked through my fucking personal belongings. By the time I come out on the 29th to take my garbage out, I took my garbage out on the 28th early, so I go out every day and I see the status. They had pillaged almost all of it, but they leaving the Christmas trees, I guess, as another Washington, D.C. protest against God, against Christmas. Go ahead. You don't want $300 worth of Christmas trees? Okay. That's all that's left. Some of my college notebooks that, I went to college here. I had some really nice in the plastic, like brand new notebooks for college. I'm not going to describe this. One of them was still there. It was all looking like trash, just torn apart, thrown somewhere. So I kicked it to the side so people could drive safely through the alley. And as I'm coming back, there's this obnoxious woman, brunette, wearing tight spandex, summer active wear. No, and get this, bright fuchsia pink, like she's a flamingo on radar, and a neon freaking flamingo jogging. And she's enjoying, you can tell, looking at all my stuff, which was strewn all over the place on the sides of the alley. And then she looks up and sees me coming her way down the alley, and her freaking head whiplashed so fast. I mean, the stuff I'm witnessing here is incredible. I want to tell people this stuff. This is what I mean by things I witness in this house and outside are unforgettable. Her head whiplashed as soon as she saw me, and she's looking at my stuff. I frankly had the full impression that she knew that was my crap. She whiplashed so fast, I thought she was going to stumble and fall and lose her balance while she's jogging in her bright pink flamingo activewear. And she acted like she didn't see me, whiplash her head and fucking double booked out there jogging faster down the road. So then I come down, going down 15th, and I see a African-American mother with her 2 children. They always lay eyes on me, and the daughter, who was about 9 with the mom, got really defensive posturing. And they were over a block away, but they were on my side of the street I'm going towards S. They get really defensive physical posturing. You can see this if you watch a human from far distance. They're relaxed. They're walking down the road. It's 7 a.m. We're going to the school bus. They lay eyes on somebody who they feel fear, and they get all tough, and their bodies toughen up. The daughter did it. First the mom did it, then the daughter did it. I don't know why the daughter did it. I don't know. I mean, I've said some of these kids here are really a lost cause. Most of the kids I've witnessed here who are really, really aggressive and just brainwashed into Nazi and neo-Nazism are white. I haven't seen a lot of African-American kids very brainwashed, but I do understand there's a lot of African-American Muslim domestic terrorists here. Muslim domestic terrorists here are African-American, many of them. Okay, so possibly that's what they were. I don't know. So they're going to raise their kids like that, okay? It's really sad. You're raising your kids into that kind of violence. The same with the neo-Nazis. That's all you're doing is raising your children into a violent ideology. It's all based on violence. It's not acceptable. You cannot have people like that in your country. Period. White or black. All right. So I noticed that. And then when they got to the corner of S and 15th, the mom they were supposed to be coming this way. The kids were wondering why she was taking them across the street. She took them across the street and wouldn't continue to come near me. She was a good block away and fucking ran with her kids down towards 14th. So I just want to report that. And then so I turn right, I'm going down S Street, and there's a woman that's with this guy, okay? They're both walking, they're pretending they're not. They're both together. They obviously walking down the street together, but they're paced a good 200 feet apart from each other. She's wearing all black. She sees me and locks eyes on me. I don't look and do this stare down with DC people. It's way too aggressive and really, really, I just can't. They're so creepy. Why are you staring me down? All these things, all that stuff. I'm tired of it. So I don't look at or do any of that. She gets in my way and refuses to move. She wants to do the DC stare down and refuse to move on the sidewalk. I'm just carrying my cart. I'm not engaging with it. She wants to ram her body into my cart. If that's what she chooses to do, if she chooses to ram her body into my cart, that's her choice. I didn't ram her. She walked into it because she was too obsessed with staring me down, trying to get me to make eye contact with her. This is her problem, not mine. Well, she moved out of my way, but she moved out of my way when the man behind her, who was walking really fast, like you're running to a train, like when he saw me, he was behind her. He started to walk like he's running to catch a bus. He's running to catch a subway train. Like he was walking that fast. He was in a white work button-up shirt, like an office shirt. And he, by the time he got into the yard of this house, not this house, just hear me out. By the time he got into the yard of this house, he literally ran. So I saw that. And that's what I would tell the top generals, okay? And she's still staring me down. So he was dressed like an office guy going to work, but ran into the basement of the house right next door to mine that I have witnessed absolute and complete armed conflict in. That I am telling you, many of these fumes, quote unquote, fumes, are stored. He ran. I saw him literally run from the gate to the basement. From the side of the house where there's all these bushes, he ran like this. Watch my fingers. He ran into the basement, dressed up like an office worker of that house. He was brunette. He was about 150 pounds, and he was about 6 feet to 5'11". Okay? And then this woman was still locking eyes. They were with each other. That's how this town works. They all think they're super agents. They're not. They're domestic terrorists. This guy was either law enforcement or some pretty boy that they recruited to the U.S. Armed Services to coup, to actually attack their own sovereign territory and run around in terror cells, walking distance from Joe Biden. So that house was right next door to this. That house next door, I've witnessed so much things. I call it things and stuff because I lost my vocabulary here in this fucking city. I have witnessed so much things and stuff coming from that house that he ran into. I'm forbidden from talking about it because there's a point where you know this is serious, Heidi. If the police are not coming in here, this is clearly obvious. Those helicopters that fly and circle and hover, you probably shouldn't be talking about that shit you're witnessing on YouTube, dude. It comes from that house a lot. Stuff and things I witness. There's a cubby hole that goes directly to that house upstairs on floor 3. Yeah, I remember all that, right? Okay, so that house he ran from the yard. Like by the time he got to the yard, he just was running. And then he ran along the heavily There's plants. He ran, tall plants, bushes. And he ran right into the basement. He was running, dressed like an office worker. Yeah, so it was pretty wild. Like, he's not on his way to work. He's on his way to a basement of an abandoned building. He wasn't on his way to work. I thought it was really fucking weird. All right, so then this lady decided to stop trying to bully me on the sidewalk, and then I went into my house, okay? So that's what I needed to testify, a witness. But when I went back into this house, the dead bodies are just reeking. It's coming out the front door. It hits the oxygen, and it does its chemical composition, because it's gases and decomposing. I can't find words. Just, you know what I mean? And it hits the CO2. So you open the door and it just gushes out. It's so fucking disgusting, and it's getting stronger and stronger. The whole first floor here reeks of freaking corpses. You go up the stairs, it reeks. You go up to the floor 2, it reeks. I'm just getting into my room. I'm like closing the door. I'm like, oh no, another day. This place is going to reek. You hope it doesn't come into your room. You hope that these creeps don't come and knock on your door and say, hey, I'm the Washington, D.C. Police Department. You're in delusion. You're imagining everything you say. We have concerns about your mental health. I'm just sitting in here waiting for fucking creeps to arrest me still. Yeah, I said that I meant it when I said it. As long as this place is active, it hasn't been investigated, it hasn't been searched, it hasn't been raided, there's still people running from yards into basements and all this crap here. Running from me, man. I saw you, dude. I saw you with very clear vision. You're a fucking clown, dude. Whoever you are that ran into the house next door, into the basement. As long as the shit is still happening, these fucking creeps in the fire and police are very likely to come knock and tell me I'm in a mental health crisis and drag me God knows where. I pray for my life, Jesus Christ. I pray for the life of my cat in here, Jesus Christ. Please, Jesus Christ, help me get out of Washington, D.C.'s terrorist compound, located at 1509 S Street Northwest. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Hallelujah, amen. That is my report. I'll put this up in one punch. I will make a statement saying there is no part 2 for the YouTube full clip, and on Instagram a statement in writing saying you want to see the whole statement and testimony, watch the YouTube, on Facebook, so on and so forth, okay? Because it's not going to be on YouTube. Only 14 minutes of the testimony will be there. This is a 18-minute video. Goodbye. Have a good morning.